Anagnosis is just a Greek word meaning discovery, the journey from ignorance to knowledge. And Aristotle said in Poetics that all great stories are pushed forward by a series of anagnoreses among the main characters. But there's a form of discovery, a form of anagnosis called a peripeteia, or a peripety. And this is an anagnosis that leads to a revelation that fundamentally changes the trajectory of the plot, and therefore the protagonist. All great stories have a moment of peripety, or peripeteia. And I've always looked for them on dirty jobs because I seem to be surrounded by them. But this was a big one. I realized right there that I was not just wrong. I was as wrong as Bruce Willis was in The Sixth Sense, when he, at the end, right, all the movie long, he's having these anagnoreses, right? Oh, this is a little cold. He sees dead people. He's probably crazy. And then later, maybe he's not completely crazy. He seems like a nice kid. And then eventually, Bruce realizes, yeah, of course he can see dead people. I'm dead. That's why he can see me. That's why I can hear him. That's it. It was that kind of moment I had when I realized, good God, I just stood here on TV and told a man whose father and great-grandfather and great-great-grandfather had been doing a thing perfectly well for generations, and I just waltzed in, armed with a bunch of information gleaned over the phone 24 hours earlier, and told him how his business is supposed to run. And there, in the corner, is the quivering proof of my own ineptitude. It's a moment, right? It's a moment. And I stood there, and then I had another moment. And that moment was informed by the fact that approximately 60 lambs were still in the pen, and they all needed to be castrated. Guess who they got? That's my job, and for the next hour and a half, I stood there as Melody put them one at a time, right there on the post. And I leaned forward with the knife, and I took the tail, threw it in the bucket, and then I clipped the scrotum, and then I pushed it forward, and I leaned down, and I bit him. I didn't bite him off, because I bit the first ones off, and that didn't go well. You're not supposed to bite them off. What you're supposed to do is get purchase, and then snap your head back, pulling out everything that's attached. That's how you do it. I know it sounds insane, and it kind of is, but that's what I did for an hour and a half. In the late afternoon dusk, in the gloaming, as they call it, in the gloaming. And I stood there thinking very, very metaphorically that, you know, this testicle is the anagnosis and this one is the peripeteia. And it's like, wow, this is an afternoon of lessons. But the lesson